Let's jump into story number 2. New York Democrat Representative Jerry Nadler says he won't run for re-election in 2026. This is pretty good news, I think. Again, I really, really, really hope that Chuck Schumer is listening when Dick Durbin and Jerry Nadler say they're not running for re-election. Man, you need to step down. Anyway, so I have a couple different stories. I've got stories pulled up from both a left-leaning publication and a right-leaning publication. So if we click on right, I've already got everything sorted by factuality. And I think that my story is from Breitbart, which is mixed factuality if you look at it here, but they are a right outlet. So and then my other one is from Raw Story. So if we click back over here on the left, again, it's already sorted by factuality. And we scroll down, Raw Story, high factuality, left. So, and it's not leaning, it's full left. So, and that's why I picked both of those stories. So we'll read the story from the right, and then we'll get into the story from the left. Or excuse me, we'll read the story from the right, and then we'll read the story from the left, just to see if we can get any kind of differences that may be in there, to see if things are being presented in a different way. I haven't pre-read these stories, so it may just be that like only the news is reported on them. But let's get into it and see here. So first off, the story from Breitbart. Representative Jerry Nadler, 78, confirmed that he will retire at the close of his current term, saying his decision was shaped by growing calls for generational change within the Democratic Party. Watching the Biden thing really said something about the necessity for generational change in the party, and I think I want to respect that, he told the New York Times. Nadler added that a younger successor can maybe do better, maybe can help us more, though he declined to name a preferred replacement. Allies, however, suggested that Assemblyman Micah Lasher, a longtime aide, may seek that seat. Nadler's departure will open a rare Democratic Party contest in Manhattan, where his district stretches from Union Square through Central Park and includes major corporate headquarters, cultural landmarks, and some of the wealthiest neighborhoods in the country. He acknowledged that numerous allies might run, but he indicated that he would not be directly involved in picking a successor. Nadler became a nationally recognized figure during Trump's presidency, steering the first impeachment articles through the Judiciary Committee in 2019. His clashes with Trump dated back to the 1980s, when they sparred over development projects in Manhattan. Trump once described him as one of the most egregious hacks in contemporary politics. Throughout his career, Nadler has drawn sharp opposition over his positions on immigration and law enforcement. In June 2025, he accused U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers of hiding misbehavior by wearing masks and concealing their identities, prompting the Department of Homeland Security to call his remarks despicable. DHS emphasized that ICE officers face increasing violence during enforcement, including a 500% rise in assaults. Republicans in Congress condemned Nadler's accusations, and DHS defends its officers' use of masks as a measure to protect themselves from criminal retaliation. Nadler has also clashed with federal officers earlier this summer when the Department of Homeland Security personnel entered his Manhattan office during the immigration enforcement operations and briefly handcuffed an aide. Nadler insisted DHS had no right to enter his office without a warrant and maintained that the agency was lying about the indictment. Video of the confrontation showed officers accusing staff of harboring rioters, while Nadler accused the Trump administration of intimidation tactics. The aide was released without charges, but the episode fueled weeks of dispute between Nadler and DHS. Nadler has long defended expansive immigration policies, calling migrants the lifeblood of this country, during a 2024 hearing in which he rejected the arguments that immigration strains public services. He argued that America's low birth rate requires increased immigration, a position Mark Kikorian of the Center for Immigration Studies described as dismissive of the challenges facing American families. Nadler authored a 2021 bill to expand the Supreme Court by 4 justices. Fuck that. A measure Republicans labeled as court packing, while later opposing Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's judicial reforms. In 2018, Nadler was recorded discussing Democratic plans to impeach Justice Brett Kavanaugh, investigate Trump if Democrats retook the House, remarks that drew scrutiny after becoming public. In 1998, he charged Republicans with running a lynch mob against President Bill Clinton during impeachment proceedings, despite later condemning Trump for using similar language. Nadler was also among Democrats who cheered the FBI's 2022 raid on Trump's Mar-a-Lago residence, responding on social media with one word message: good. He later served as a manager in Trump's impeachment trial, claiming the Democrats' case was proven beyond any doubt at all. Beyond congressional clashes, Nadler faced criticism at home in 2023. A father of an anti-Semitic hate crime victim called him out at a House Judiciary Committee field hearing in New York, accusing Nadler and Senator Chuck Schumer of failing to condemn attacks against Jews in the city. The same year, Nadler also endorsed requiring 2-year-olds to wear masks during the pandemic, calling it child abuse not to do so, remarks that drew bipartisan pushback. He has remained a consistent ally of Democratic leadership, voting with Speaker Nancy Pelosi 99% of the time, according to earlier reports, though he occasionally pursued independent stances. He endorsed progressive figures in New York, such as Zohran Mamdani for mayor, and positioned himself as both pro-Israel and critics of its government. Critical of its government. In his final interviews, Nadler acknowledged that the war in Gaza has shaken his position, saying Israel under Prime Minister Netanyahu was committing war crimes and mass killings, though he maintained support for Israel's missile defense. Hey, thanks for checking out this video from Nightly News this morning. If you wouldn't mind, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a video or when we go live on Tuesdays and Fridays.